Welcome to your COM 101 course. I'm Lisa Hill. I'll be your instructor for the semester. I thought I would put together this short orientation video for you so you could become more familiar with the class, with recording, and with what do you do when you have to deliver your speech? How do you deliver it? So let's start, and let me just go over some key elements of the course. And I want to show you, in particular, your first module. Because in your first module is all the information about how to record your speeches, how to submit your access code, how to get into Panopto, which is what you would need to use when you are recording your informative speech, because it allows you to use PowerPoint. I do want to mention, too, I've been teaching for HACC for over 15 years, and I've been teaching for virtual learning for the last 5. And a lot of times students take COM 101 virtually because they think, oh, it'll be easy, I don't have to get up in front of my classmates. And I'll be honest with you, it's more difficult. You're going to see that there's a lot more work involved in this particular class, and also you have to understand the technology in order to be successful. So I want to be sure I go over all that with you so that you have a good start for the class. So looking at the course itself, and I assume that most of you have taken a virtual class before, but if you haven't, this is a good start as well. You see this area here, this is called the nav bar, and it's kind of a shortcut for many items. If you need to access an area real quickly, you can do that in this area. The meat of the class is right here within the content browser, and you see I have each week broken down into modules, and I clearly state what needs to be done in each module. Let's go back up to the nav bar, and another area that you need to be concerned with is your Pearson MyComm Labs Plus. This is where you will go to record your speeches. This is where you will download your speeches so I can grade them, and also so that you can view other student speeches, because you'll be doing reviews, peer reviews, and you could review your own speech. So this, in a sense, is the area in which your speeches will go. You can use Media Share in here, in the MyComm Labs Plus, to record your speeches. However, for your informative speech, you'll need to use Panopto and then download it into MyComm Labs Plus in the Media Share area. So again, I could grade it, and that you can, other students can see your speech. Okay, I have all the instructions for this within that first module, and we'll look at that in a second. Here we have our assessments, communication, and resources. I do ask that you definitely do a system check, okay, to be sure that your computer is copacetic with this class. But you can peruse each of these areas as you are learning the course, and I highly recommend that you click on these links and look at each of these areas. This news item obviously is an area that I will highly use every week, if not a couple times a week, where I kind of make updates. Sometimes you might see it like this, sometimes you'll see it like that. It doesn't mean that there isn't any news if it's closed on your part. These areas I don't generally use. The calendar is just a regular calendar, and you probably don't have a roll switch, but the calendar you can see just for the basic calendar use. I don't have due dates on this particular calendar. Okay, looking at your content browser, okay, and again, it may look like this, like, oh, where is the information? Your class can very condensed and clean. However, you want to open this up, and you want to see what's in each area. As you can see here, I mentioned that usually a learning module runs from Monday to Sunday. So I have a due date of Sunday by midnight. However, some modules have midweek due dates, and I need to do this because, for instance, for your persuasive speech, you will need to submit a topic, like let's say by Tuesday, I need to approve it, and then you could then work on the outline that's due on Sunday. So there's good rhyme and reason why we need to have midweek due dates, but just be aware of that in each of your modules. Looking at your first learning module, which is a very important module, because here you will, in a sense, set yourself up for success. You will put in your access code for the MyComm Labs Plus so that you're enrolled in that area for your speeches. You will learn how to use the how to use Media Share in MyComm Labs Plus. You will learn how to record in Panopto when the time comes. And also a lot of other good information regarding the course. Okay, so as you can see, and let me go back to that real quick because I was talking and the computer is awfully slow. The objectives kind of goes over in each module. You will see what needs to be completed, and then for instance, this is an area that says resources for the course, and then you see your assignments for this week. Resources for the course, and let's look at that. What you need to do for all areas of this class is click on every section. If you miss one section, you could be missing a very vital part of the class. And I even put together a short video on course resources because, again, because this is a virtual class where you will be recording your speeches, it's real important that you start off on a good foot. So you see your syllabus. I recommend that you definitely print that out, have that as a reference, read over that thoroughly. You need to register your access code in the MyComm Labs Plus. Access code is in your textbook that you bought, and it would be in a section in the back, like a hard cardboard, and it's a number with dashes that you will need to plug in into the MyComm Labs Plus. That then gets you registered for the class in that area. How to navigate and be successful, I recommend that you print this out. Print this out and read it and highlight it and use it as a reference, because you'll record this week a short elevator speech, which is just to be sure that you know how to use the technology. But then your next speech isn't due for a week or so. So, it's good that you have this reference to look at so you understand all the logistics of recording. So print that out. How to enroll in Media Share. You need a course ID number for that, and I supplied that right there for you, and it's also in the news item. They'll ask you for the course ID, and it's there. Again, how to record speeches in Media Share, and how to set up your recorder in Panopto. Each of these areas, again, I recommend that you print out to read and to reference as you use them. As I said, I've been teaching this class for 5 years, and honestly, students who do not print it out tend to have a lot of problems, and you don't want those headaches. I don't want your headache to be the technology of the class. I want you to focus on creating and crafting your speeches and knowing how to do that and delivering them well. Your Panopto, which is a funny word, is again just for your informative speech. It's required that a student knows how to use PowerPoint for a speech, and here Panopto allows you to record with visual aid of PowerPoint, and you can use Panopto and then upload your speech to Media Share. Okay, so again, very important to go through all these resources. Going back to your learning module, and you'll see your speech assignments, and what you have for this week is a 45-second elevator speech, and you're going to find that you have this elevator speech, which is just a real quick 45 seconds, as if you are on an elevator and you had to introduce yourself tell a little bit about yourself to somebody on an elevator ride from the bottom floor to the top floor. And honestly, the reason why I have this is so that I know that you know how to use the technology, that you've gone through all the resources, this is the assessment for it, and you understand the technology and you're ready to move on into the class. This is worth, 25 points, due on Sunday, an easy 25 points because you just got to complete the work for the first module. You're going to see then, too, that you have a introduction speech, which is graded, and also you have a self-introduction that you write out in a discussion post. And so you feel like you're introducing yourself a lot. However, this is just an assessment on your ability to use the recording technology. Your introduction speech is your oral introduction, and then your written discussion is, again, to build community within the discussion board so everybody can read about each other and supply remarks to each other. Okay? So that's your first learning module. And I can't stress enough the importance of clicking on each of the areas. You'll see then next week you get into your weekly readings, and you'll see here, for instance, I give you a video of your self-introduction speech will be due to read each chapter. I tell students to read each chapter and to highlight information. And then when it's time for a test that you'll take online, you're able then to reference that information to study very easily. And again, you can see all the information here that you need to complete in that particular week. Let's look at Module 3 just quickly. This would be a typical module where you're covering chapters. I have video PowerPoints for you for each chapter. Again, as you are watching these video PowerPoints, I would take notes as if you are in class and I'm teaching in class, because again, those notes are good reference when it comes to test time and also when you're putting together your speech, because you'll know what we're looking for as far as structure, content, and or delivery. Okay? And then you see we have quizzes that will be your assessment for the chapters, and the reading and the highlighting will help you tremendously. Okay, so let's just go back to the very beginning of the class. Okay, back to the beginning of the class, and I just want to review what we talked about. I do want to mention the importance of when you are delivering your speech, that you are standing. You'll see this in your syllabus, that you provide eye contact to your audience as if there's an audience in front of you. Use a note card, so you speak off a note card and then speak to the audience as if you have an audience in the room. The way we deliver our speeches is that we start with a comprehensive speech outline, and then you take the information from your speech outline onto note cards. Practice, and you practice again, okay, so to be sure that you're within the time, you're saying what you want to say, and then when it's time for you to deliver, you hit your record. You can't edit your speech, I'll know. You'll see there was a couple editing marks in this particular startup orientation. No editing allowed, and you deliver your speech as if there is an audience. Okay, you'll see all this in your syllabus and in the course. So I have 1 minute left. I just want to give you a quick overview, conclusion. Just remember, this is your nav bar. Click on all these links. Make sure you always check your news. Make sure that you are completing everything in the module. This week in particular, be sure that you do all the resource items in the Learning Module 1 so that everything is up and running and you can deliver your elevator speech and then have a good start for next week. I am here for you. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, lkhill@hack. You'll see that number or that email on my syllabus, and I will get back to you pronto. Good luck and my best as you continue through the semester. I look forward to getting to know you through this class.